we are back with another BrewskiBets banger. But first, I want to say happy birthday almost to America, to freedom, to this excellent country. I could have kept that montage going on all day, all the things this country means to me. But we had to keep it short because we're not here to just celebrate America and the freedoms we have. We're here to celebrate a historic event, something that's going to happen probably very rarely in this lifetime, and that is UFC has made its way all the way to the White House. So let's talk these fights. I am super excited for this card. We have Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje for the lightweight title. We have Alex Pereira for Cyril Gane for the heavyweight title. Both those fights are going to be amazing. We have Sean O'Malley versus Eamon Zahabi. That one's going to be a striker's delight. Should be a fun fight to watch. We have Derek Lewis versus Josh Hokit. How can that not be a fun fight? We have Mauricio Ruffy versus Michael Chandler. That's going to be a fun fight. Bo Nickal versus Kyle Daukus. Meh, that one may or may not be a fun fight. We'll find out. And we have Diego Lopes versus Steve Garcia starting out the card. The card is short, but it is sweet. It is going to be such a fun one to watch, such a delight, and I am super excited to break these down for you. All right, and in our first one, we have Diego Lopes versus Steve Garcia, and this fight is an amazing start to a card. And my most difficult pick of the card, I'll say as well. I am very split on this one. I've been all week, but I'm slowly but surely leaning towards a side. However, that is not where my bets are placed. I went with a round total for this one. Steve Garcia is a dangerous striker, an excellent boxer, dangerous at range, knockout power, truly a problem on the feet. Diego Lopes, an iron chin, can take a punch, pretty solid on the feet as well, throws his own solid knockout power punch, and has good ground game skill. And there's my very slight difference in where I'm leaning on this fight is that I think Diego might just be a more overall well-rounded MMA fighter. Has a good jiu-jitsu game, his grappling game is strong, and he is strong. And then the ability to take that punch, I don't think Steve's going to be able to go in there and just knock him out like he has everyone else. So that means he's going to deep waters with Diego Lopes. And if this fight's going long, if it's going late, if they're going hard for an extended period of time, I've got to favor Diego Lopes's experience. I've got to favor his high level competition. His two fights with Alexander Volkanovski to tune him up to a good striker and someone who's fast and crafty. I just don't see him getting knocked out in this one, and if he's not getting knocked out, I think he's going to find a way to win. So my pick in this one is Diego Lopes. I have not bet that way in this fight, and I took a round line total instead that we'll go over at the end. Diego Lopes by decision. That's my pick. All right, and then our next one we have Bo Nickal versus Kyle Daukus. And in this one, I don't know about Bo Nickal, guys. I don't think he can take him. I don't think the minus 330 line is warranted. I think at the very most, this should be a minus 125 kind of situation. And I just that RDR fight, it sits in my head. Bo Nickal quit. He got beat. He got hit to the body and he started giving up. And I think Kyle Daukus has the ability to do that same kind of damage that RDR did. RDR did a lot of damage with knees and stuff in the grappling. I think Kyle can either do the same or piece him up at that distance, but I do think that he is good enough to handle Bo Nickal's wrestling, at least from the grappling side of things. I think he's good enough to keep himself on the feet, to not get dominated on the ground the whole time, and to be able to keep this thing standing up and show that he's going to be definitely the better striker on the feet. So I've got Kyle Daukus as the underdog in this one. Put a little money line bet on that one, and he's my underdog call of the card. Just can't get that RDR fight out of my head. And Kyle Daukus has looked really good in his return to the UFC, so I think Bo is not as good as he is hyped up to be. We're going to find out how much he's leveled up that striking game, though. In the Rodolfo Vieira fight, he looked excellent against Rodolfo Vieira, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy who's not been showing to be very good on the feet. Kyle Daukus is, let's check out his last few here. Kyle Daukus by submission on Gerald Meerschaert after beating the heck out of him on the feet. Michel Pereira, he knocks him out. He knocked this guy out outside of the UFC. He'd had a couple of really good fights outside of the UFC to get himself back in after getting dismissed. So I believe in Kyle Daukus in this one, and I really think that Bo Nickal's going to disappoint just like he did in the RDR fight, and that hype train's going to completely die off at that point. So for the official pick, give me Kyle Daukus by knockout. And the next one on the card, we have Mauricio Ruffy versus Michael Chandler. And I think this is the dog walking of the night. Michael Chandler only knows how to fight one way. He might go in, he might get an early first round takedown. He's going to try and get a hold of Ruffy, get a big slam, get the crowd roaring, get that highlight that he really wants. But he's not going to be able to hold that pace. He's not going to be able to keep Ruffy down. He's not going to be able to out-wrestle him the whole time, and he's not going to want to either. Michael Chandler's not in this to get a boring win. He's in this to put a show. And that show is going to lead to him getting knocked out on the feet because Mauricio Ruffy is way more technical, way better boxing, way better kickboxing, faster, younger, has every physical and MMA advantage aside from probably wrestling. And so I'm going to give this one to Ruffy. I think he's an easy parlay piece. And I have him and a few others in a parlay I'm pretty confident on the night. Mauricio Ruffy by knockout, official pick. All right, and this next fight is going to be a banger, guys. I think Josh Hokit is going to put it on Derek Lewis. I see him first round kind of going in on that wrestling pressure takedown and just beating on him, and it could be a first round ground and pound knockout. I definitely see that as a very viable option, but otherwise he's going to do that damage in round one, take Derek Lewis's spirit. By round two, get a finish on the feet. So I just see this as an easy Josh Hokit win. He's younger, he's faster. He's on the rise. He might not have the size. Derek Lewis definitely has the reach. He has the knockout power on him. But oh boy, did Derek Lewis look slow in his last few fights. Just watch that tape. Watch the tape of Derek Lewis in his last few fights and say that he's able to land anything clean on Hokit from the speed that we saw from Hokit in his fight against Curtis Blades. Maybe once Hokit gets tired, but I think at that point Derek Lewis will be tired as well, and then all that knockout power is gone anyways. Josh Hokit by taking Derek Lewis's will to fight. All right, and in this next one, we have Sean O'Malley versus Amin Zahabi, and I think this one's going to be a fun, striking matchup. I think if Amin Zahabi tries to take things down, O'Malley's going to be able to keep it on the feet. He's going to be able to keep that takedown defense strong. He's been dealing with the likes of Merab. Amin Zahabi is nothing like that. So this fight's going to end up on the feet for 3 rounds and may not go the 3 rounds. I think it's set up for an O'Malley knockout. I think he can take Amin. I don't think Amin's that good, and I don't think the level of competition he's faced is nearly as good as the level of competition O'Malley's faced. O'Malley's rangier. He can keep that distance. He's a better striker in my opinion. And I think aside from some random shot sneaking through to hurt O'Malley or some crazy shot that we will see in O'Malley 3-round domination or knockout, my official decision is O'Malley by knockout or decision. I can't fully pick on what's going to be able to happen. I'm going to lean towards the knockout, but I'm not going to really bet on either of those props in this one. I'm going to got him in a parlay. All right, and in our co-main event of the evening, we have Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane, and I am super excited for this one. I am an Alex fan. I will say that straight up, outright. There is some minor bias in this one, but I tried to keep this as objective as I could all week, and I actually started the week on the Cyril Gane side of things. I just thought for the heavyweight division, he was going to be really fast. That he's one of the largest dudes that Alex has ever fought, if not the largest dude Alex has ever fought. But as the week went on, I kept looking at different tape and thinking on it, and it's like Alex has been fighting guys in middleweight and light heavyweight. You think that Cyril Gane is faster than middleweights and light heavyweights, especially like the prime Israel Adesanya. So I have a feeling that Alex has the answer for Cyril Gane's stay on the outside, touch and go style of fighting. I think he's going to be able to pressure him, get in the red zone, and knock him out. That's my official prediction. I'm going to do Alex Pereira by knockout. I believe he's going to take Cyril Gane's soul in this one. Faraziam confirmed it for me last week. Me and French fighters, we just don't go well. My bets have always lost on French fighters, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this a fan pick, stick with my gut, stick with Alex, that Brazilian powerhouse of a fighter, to take out Ciro Gane. And finally, our main event of the evening, Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje, and I've got Ilia Topuria by however he wants, destruction, most likely KO because he's saying it'll be by KO. So Ilia has been known to call his fights and how he is looking to finish his opponent, and I think Justin's going to do exactly what Ilia wants and what he's been saying in interviews, that if Justin presses forward and tries to put the pressure on Ilia, that's all he needs. So my official pick for this one is Ilia Topuria by first round knockout. I think Justin's going to try and press him, and it's not going to go well for him. If Justin can survive, I think it's only going to round 2 at the very latest. I do not see this going late. I know Justin has a chin of steel most of the time, but not against Ilia Topuria, not against those combos that he's going to put him through. So Ilia Topuria, round 1 knockout, official pick for the main event of the evening. Let's get to the bets, though, guys. I want to show you what we've got going for tonight. I'm feeling pretty good on the bets for today. All right, and the very first bet I placed, and I would say the most confident bet of all, is my 4-pick parlay here. It's Ilia Topuria, Sean O'Malley, Josh Hokit, and Mauricio Ruffy all together. I do not see a path in which these guys lose this fight. I put a 2-unit bet on it, and hopefully they pay out for me. Don't mind these World Cup bets in here. I'm not going over that yet on this channel. We don't have the bandwidth to put any of these down, and I don't have any real insight within the sport. I am doing these bets as a fan and will likely lose money. Next one up on this card, not my World Cup bets, don't mind me. So my next most confident bet, I got Alex Pereira money line. We put almost a full unit on the money line, and we put an extra $5 on the knockout because I feel like he knocks him out. But to cover that decision, we just kept it at the money line for most of that unit. Next one up, we got Kyle Daukus. Got a unit on his money line at plus 275. I just don't think Bo Nickal can stand up to him in terms of actual fighting skill. I think Bo Nickal is overhyped due to that wrestling background. So we're going to see how that one plays out, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. Next one is Diego Lopes and Steve Garcia, the over 1.5 rounds. I think these guys are both dog tough. Obviously, a knockout's possible within those first 2 rounds, but I think the iron chin of Diego Lopes holds up. And I think Steve Garcia is going to hold up as well for at least a round and a half. And in general, I think the fight could potentially go to decision in a really fun fight to watch, but one where both guys just don't go down. So that's what I see coming, and I could be very wrong and see a nice first round knockout coming from one of the sides. So, but that's the side I decided to take in this fight instead of leaning towards one fighter or another when I made my bets. As of right now, I do feel that Diego Lopes can win the fight, but have not made any other bets on him at this point. So we've kept the bets short and sweet this week and trying to keep it a little bit more controlled. I went a little crazy last week, a lot of bets, and to be honest, I don't like having to put them all on the betting tracker. It's a pain in the butt to put it all in there. So we're going to keep them a little bit shorter this week, not place as many, and hopefully and have a good week. Come out positive. Thanks for watching. Let's go America.
Starbucks, fuck yeah, Disney World.